Ah, ¿qué pedo?
¿Qué haces, güey?
Nada, güey, te andaba esperando. Vamos.
Vámonos, córrele, que traigo hambre.
The climax for this piece really comes to light during the bathroom scene where the attraction is revealed and these two guys kiss for the first time, or it kiss it probably isn't the first time, but it's the first time we see them kiss. And they're discovered by their peers, forcing them to immediately come to terms with their identities. So instead of accepting um, who he is and his feelings for this boy and being open about it, he clearly decides to turn his rage on this boy and blame him for kissing as a way to save face with the others. And I would assume culturally that being seen as gay is not something that would be easy to do, you know. And so it's understandable why he reacts in this way. It's also a clear sign of how homophobia works in some. It's really self-hatred for another living their life freely when they're themselves are paralyzed by fear to actually express themselves truly as themselves. In the moment of the hit, um, the way the sound cuts off and we just see the blood on the wall leading to the flashbacks of their relationship, really a great way to showcase the pain that must have been felt in that moment of betrayal. Um, I really enjoyed the sound design throughout the whole fight. It created a lot of sense of suspense, um, because it was the whole time the way they were directed, it was as if they were on the brink of fighting, on the brink of fighting, um, but almost holding himself back in a way, but putting on a show also. I thought all of that was really actually very clear in the performance, and the reconciliation at the end was actually very touching.
A relationship where the roles of the individuals are in two completely different spaces. We have one person who has come to terms with who they are and who they love, yet we have this other person who hasn't necessarily gone out of the closet yet. And so when they're caught, it has created this break of foundation in their relationship in a violent manner. And so we get to see this perspective through the brokenhearted and this devastation of someone who you have grown and built these memories with and had somewhat of a matter of fact of happiness, only to then have them turn on you because they fear of who they really are. We get to see this moment, this ritualistic like ceremony within his community as he's floating in a body of water and being brought out of it. I think that was really interesting. I wondered what kind of cultural influences had depicted this particular moment, because all of the women that were surrounding him were dressed in white and had these red veils, and it just seemed very serene and very togetherness. And honestly, what was the most spine chilling cinematic piece of beauty, I think, within this piece was the closing sequence of him coming up into the camera and slowly all of these women coming together and embracing him, showing that this feminine form of love, and this his love of who he is more than accepting.
The acting in this was really, really well done. It was just a very realistic portrayal of the romance between two boys that is not necessarily accepted in their friend group or society, where one is in denial and denies his lover in front of his friends by acting out in violence. So I thought that was a really realistic narrative, tragic and sad, but realistic. I thought the chemistry between our two main actors was really, really strong, and the acting in general was really strong. The ending was interesting and really different, in that it more so represents the inside of their heads than what is actually happening in the narrative. So just with the music and the dancing and the editing here was really well done, and just showcasing what's going on in their heads, and their romance.
It's a really great element of storytelling as well as musical expression in the same short film. And I thought the acting did a really great job of capturing the tension between the characters and making it really tangible, and definitely creating a sense of empathy for the characters as the events unfold.
You're building up the relationship between these two guys, but it really is a slow burn. But afterwards, it does make you feel worse for the characters, because it's kind of one where they have to fight, and it kind of goes between fantasy and reality about what's really going on when they get caught kissing. If the other guy's going in and out of reality, or if this is what's been happening behind the scenes and didn't happen.
You could sense their love and friendship for each other building to a crescendo of passion and resulting in horrible homophobic actions against them. What really set this one apart for me was the gorgeous lighting and cinematography. So many intimate close-ups of facial expressions and physical action in soft lighting. The storyline was also very dramatic. Great pace and direction.